For the occasion. Reverend. Let us pray. O God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day, which we have eagerly anticipated, where we come to celebrate the achievements of our graduates. We thank you for this great school, the Kenya School of Government, and the important role it has continued to play in the capacity and proficiency building of public service in and beyond this country. We thank you, O Lord, for the dynamic leadership that has ensured that in spite of the pandemic restrictions put in place for our protection, this important ceremony has been able to proceed and all stakeholders have been able to participate, whether virtually or in person. We thank you, O Lord, for the peace that we enjoy in this great nation that has allowed this institution to continue fulfilling its mandate. We thank you for the leadership of this great land as we pray for our President, His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, our Deputy President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs, Professor Margaret Kobia, and all leaders of our national government and 47 county governments. We pray for your continued guidance, O God, and wisdom upon all our leaders, and especially at this extraordinary time of crisis in the globe, where humanity is under attack from an invisible enemy, the COVID-19 coronavirus. We ask that you would continue to give our leaders the wisdom and knowledge relevant to such a time as this, that we may always be led in the way of peace, love, unity, safety, health, and prosperity. We pray for your divine intervention in the speedy discovery and production of efficacious vaccines, adequate medication for those who are unwell, and a time in the near future when this COVID-19 coronavirus would finally be conquered. In the meantime, help our citizenry, O Lord, to quickly adapt to the new normal and live within the important safety measures put in place by our government through the Ministry of Health. We bless your name for the leadership of this great school, the Director General, all campus and departmental directors, and all members of staff that will continue operating in synergy and in your divine favor continue to impact this nation, our region, our continent, and our entire world in fostering sustained excellence in public service for the dignity of all humankind. We thank you for the achievements of our graduates. We pray for them that as they receive and rejoice over their deserved awards, they will seek to have their greatest accolades in the field as they apply the knowledge for which they are distinguished today. We bless you in your name and pray. May the Lord bless you, keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We pray for your guidance upon this important occasion. We ask all this through the name of He who taught us to pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen. I now invite Director General, Kenya School of Government, Professor Ludeki Chwea, to make a statement.
In accordance with the provisions of the Kenya School of Government, Learning and Development Policy and Procedures, I declare this congregation formally constituted.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now call upon Kenya School of Government alumni to address the congregation.
The Chief Guest, Professor Margaret Kobia, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service and Gender. Distinguished guests, my name is Lucy Wanjakirimo, a Sub-County Social Development Officer working with the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection based at Mukurweini Sub-County, Nyeri County, and a proud alumni. It may sound strange too that I'm using the term commencement to refer the Chief Guest, Professor Margaret Kobia, the position of public service and gender. The graduation sound appropriate, but it shall realize that graduation is an end as well. Life is proven such that anything or an end of anything is the beginning of another. The end of a day is the beginning of another. Same with education. The diplomas and certificates you receive today not only marks the completion of an academic journey, but broadly under academic journey you broadly undertook 1.5 years ago, but actually the beginning of a long life knowledge journey. I have to point out to you that you are graduating at a time when this country is, and the world at large is facing challenges like COVID-19 pandemic, but also there has been no better time in history to graduate than this due to the opportunities presented by these challenges. The transformative knowledge you have acquired during your training at KSG should serve as a guiding light to identify the opportunities in the challenge we face as humanity and be the driving force towards providing solutions for the same. Yes, 16 years ago, I joined KSG as a trainee in the DSW 29, 2004, where I underwent a vigorous 2-year course and attained a diploma in social work for social development workers. I further attended 2 more courses, namely management course for social development workers and a public relations customer care in the year 2010 and 2016 respectively. Allow me to share with you some of my many life achievements that I attribute to the transformative experience I had during my training at KSG. The title of my research project was on anti-FGM practices in Meru County, specifically on the alternative rite of passage. Soon, after attaining my diploma in social work, I decided to implement one of my recommendations of the research project, involvement of all stakeholders in the campaign against FGM. I mobilized communities around my then workstation, Meru County, to come up with alternative rite of passage through involvement of all stakeholders. We consecrated Class 8 girls after exams, KCPE, at Mujwa in Meru for a week, timing when the Class 8 boys would graduate from their seclusion, and they would graduate the same day. We could hold parallel graduation ceremonies for both girls and boys. This ARP, alternative rite of passage idea, sold my idea to UNICEF because I did not utilize the 5 years of promotion. In 2009, I enrolled for a degree course at Chuka University, and I attained a BSc in Community Development, second class upper division, despite having other responsibilities because of the study field had been leveled. I want to encourage each one of you that you too can initiate a positive change whenever you find yourselves after this great day. You have shown commitment to personal development by enrolling to this cause and sticking through thick and thin, burning the midnight oil. The then graduation ceremony is in fact an indication that you can make good our personal goals only if we remain committed to them. Everything is possible if we put our minds to it, as the famous Nobel laureate Wangari Maathai aptly put it. Every one of us can make a contribution, and quite often we are looking for the big things and forget that whenever we are, we can make a contribution. The chief guest, Professor Margaret Kobia, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service and Gender. Distinguished guests, my name is Lucy Wanjakiko, as a County Social Development Officer working with the Ministry of Public Service and Gender. Nyerika. And applaud.
Right now, yeah.
take us through. Chief Guest, Margaret Kobia, Cabinet Secretary, our PS, State Department of Public Service, Madam Mary Kimonye, Chairman, Kenya School of Government Council, Professor Gituro Wainaina, distinguished faculty, the Kenya School of Government, invited guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the third Kenya School of Government graduation ceremony for award of diplomas and certificates. This is an occasion in our calendar when we celebrate our achievements in the pursuit of excellence in capacity development for the public service of our country, the region, and indeed the world. On this occasion, we award successful trainees the prestigious Kenya School of Government diploma and certificate qualifications. The obvious reason for this celebration is to recognize and acknowledge candidates for having successfully attended the course they enrolled in and for passing the prescribed examinations. There is, however, a less obvious yet more fundamental reason for celebrating this day, which is that today we release to the public service a cadre of officers with deepened knowledge and enhanced skills and competencies to drive national development agenda and serve the public with excellence and to their satisfaction. KSG continues to conduct training needs assessment and, as appropriate, develop training curricula in new areas of competency requirements, realign pre-existing programs to suit emerging needs, raise the level of expertise in consultancy services to build sophistication in public service institutions and their ability to cope with increased complexities in their task environment, and support policymaking based on problem-solving research. We continue to emphasize in our programs the development of professionalism in public service with a focus on compliance with public service ethics, values, and doctrines. For example, the introduction of the Outward Bound module in the Strategic Leadership Development Program has transformed the content and results of this KSG flagship course and increased the demand for enrollment. We are pleased to confirm that our programs are designed to enhance the competence of public servants, for we appreciate that leadership competency, for example, is a function of rigorous training. The public service is stronger when promotions are based on the scientific criterion of training. This is the considered KSG advice to all public service bodies that are responsible for determination of promotion in the public sector. That is, county service boards, boards and councils of state corporations, and national government commissions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your audience. It's now my pleasure to invite the chairman of the Kenya School of Government Council, Professor Gituro Wainaina, to make his remarks, and thereafter invite the Principal Secretary, Madam Mary Kimonye, to make her remarks, and thereafter Madam Kimonye will invite the chief guest. Welcome, Professor Wainaina.
Thank you very much, DG. We welcome everyone. But before then, welcome our CS, Professor Margaret Kobia, Deki, or DG, Mary Mary Kimonye, PS, Public Service, members of the council who probably will be with us online, staff who are here and those who are online, distinguished graduates, any government officers with us here, and distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, before I read the speech, it gives me a lot of honor to be here. And perhaps before we need to be more careful than we are as a country. What is happening is real. I'm really, we need to feel for the families, for those who have lost their loved ones. Really, let's play and play and play. We can, by just prevention, we can. I'm honored to welcome you to this third graduation ceremony for the World of Diplomas and Certificates of or at the Kenya School of Government. We are hosting this graduation virtually, you can see, and this has been necessitated because of COVID-19. And I think, as somebody said, challenges are what make us come with innovations. I must confess, this is my first graduation as the chair of council, and I feel honored. Madam Waziri, on behalf of the Kenya School of Government, and on my own behalf and that of management, I would like to register our appreciation for your continued support to us on the ongoing journey of transforming how we deliver the services to the citizen of this country. I cannot emphasize more how our CS has been extremely useful, being the Director General when he transformed from KIA to KSG. Indeed, the school council has continued diligently to provide strategic advice as we are required and leadership in accordance with the government regulations. As the chairman of the council, I sincerely acknowledge the mix of the council members, from political science to financial gurus, and that mix helps us to work together with management. I note with much satisfaction that even in times as we are in now, times of great turbulence, and I love the word there, disruption, and there'll be more disruptions, we still can manage to set our services. I'm happy that some of the services we are doing today is this graduation. I'm also happy to report that we have a significant online training. As we talk today, evidence indicate we have students from Malaysia, we have students all the way from Europe, and we have students from Ghana, by leveraging all the new disruption. We are aware the demand for capacity development, and this will always continue in the areas of public service, because citizen, we must deliver to the citizen. We are also alive to the fact that the mode of training and learning must change to conform to the requirements, social distancing, health and sanitation protocols. And I must say, the first thing we must do is to wear masks. That is important. I am in the council, I'm in the advisory council for Kiambu County, and we are giving a package now. We are giving food but he also put a package of masks. We must wear masks. Extremely important. The council has instituted certain strategic measures to ensure that we succeed in mitigation against these challenges. Indeed, this graduation is testimony and progressively reinventing ourselves to very current and indeed future challenges which might come around. As a council, we have created and we shall continue vigorously to support management in terms of giving enabling environment which allows them to do what they are good at. We at the council deliberately will facilitate this human resource endowed with requisite skills, and we're also working closely as we look plan at the new things we can bring into it. And that's I really emphasize that, Madam Waziri, we are very, very, very clear in terms of developing skills. It's skills, skills, skills. Our chief guests, our strategic approach includes developing collaboration and linkages. We can't do it alone. Specifically, I would like to see the county governments. That's our new from 2010, county governments and development partners in helping us set aside a budget, training budget, sponsor trainees to the school. And this has helped us to equip our learners with the necessary knowledge and indeed skills to take their civic responsibilities. Madam Cabinet Secretary, allow me to recognize a few people who have been very extremely useful to us. United States Agency for International Development, USAID, the European Union, our friends, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, the National Treasury for their support, and both technically and financially. We really do appreciate that, and we'll continue to have more partnership in the future. For the graduates, and I really appreciate the class rep who talked, our alumni, very, very strong in terms of policy, and said, you open one page of a book, you go to the next. This is exactly what has happened. You have opened one page, you have read it, you open to the next page. We value your investment and sacrifice. It is indeed a sacrifice you have made towards your capacity development. I congratulate each one of you for your achievements. You soon realize you made the right decision. Come to the best school you can ever think of, Kenya School of Government, for your training. As I conclude, I challenge you to go forward and apply what you have learned through competent hands, through experienced hands, through people who can see what is there tomorrow to make it. As I say, as I congratulate you, one thing I want you to leave you with as graduates, be people of integrity, people of integrity, people of integrity. That will take you places. Finally, I wish each one of you, as we wake up very gently with Allah, with God, in building our nation and caring for each other. Waziri, Madam Waziri, we must go back to the communities. Communities, it's the best way to fight this thing we are calling COVID-19. Those who are old enough, even when we had pandemics, we knew how to deal with that as a community. Let's go back to our communities. Let's support our communities. And I hope, DG, those are the things we can introduce in this. What was our culture? How we ring-fenced ourselves when we had issues like this? Finally, I wish You are the best. Thank you, and God bless you all. It's now my honor to invite my classmate. Honor, as she says, I was on the wrong side of the boat, and that is Mary Kemonye. Mary?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman. Yes, indeed, we were classmates. One day he was standing and I was sitting. If you know what that means. Thank you for teaching me. Yeah, I am what I am because of the input from you and several others. Professor Margaret Kobia, Cabinet Secretary, Public Service and Gender, and our chief guest this morning, Professor Geturo Wainaina, the Chairman of the Council of the Kenya School of Government, Professor Lukedi Chera, the DG of the Kenya School of Government, and the management of the Kenya School of Government, the graduates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today indeed is a beautiful morning and a wonderful morning because we are here to celebrate Kenyans who have burnt the midnight oil to change their lives. So allow me to join the other speakers to welcome all of you to the Kenya School of Government. As most of you are aware, this is a premier institution, a critical cog in the management of the public service. And we are here today to celebrate some of its achievements. So, Professor Choya and your team, congratulations for the work that you're doing to change our nation. For the graduates who are here today, I would like to put a few things in perspective for you. The management of the public service is anchored on very strong documented code of conduct. And that code of conduct must be brought to life when we manage the institutions that are under the public service. Our code of conduct is also very well anchored in Chapter 6 and Chapter 13 of the Constitution. But that code of conduct only remains documented. It has to be brought to life. And one of the institutions the government has put in place to bring our code of conduct to life through training and capacity development is the Kenya School of Government. And I want to say I am proud that I have witnessed the school take up its challenges with vigor and with determination. Today, as we celebrate this graduation, the third graduation ceremony in the Kenya School of Government for the award of certificates and diplomas, we do it within a very unique perspective, what we are referring to as our new normal. And this new normal requires us to work from home. It requires us to social distance. It requires to work from remote stations. And that mode of working has presented unique challenges to the management of the public service. As you are aware, the human being is a social animal. And this situation has denied us the social human interaction that so often energizes us, motivates us, and urges us to go on. And therefore, the Kenya School of Government, you are supposed now and expected to be a thought leader in leading the public service in management of this new normal. His Excellency the President has put it very, very clearly that public services must continue uninterrupted. And Wanjiko, and indeed the citizen, must continue to receive services with ease efficient and effective services. How are we going to do it in this new normal? This is what we are expected to be thinking about. And happy to note that the digitization program, which the government has initiated, has picked up very well. And today is testament to what is happening, that we are having a virtual graduation. Ideally, probably we should have postponed this, but we're having a virtual graduation without the program, full program of a graduation. So congratulations to the school. But as you move forward, we need to see more innovation. We need to see more initiatives towards delivering services. And more importantly, managing our servants, public servants. One of the challenges that has emerged from this new normal is increased levels of anxiety and depression among our public servants. Probably the school now should start thinking in that direction. What programs do we need to put in place to manage our public servants who are feeling isolated in their homes and in remote situations as they deliver services from home? I'm happy to note that we have graduates with the social skills, and I'm hoping these graduates will bring these social skills to bear as we manage the public service. Now, to our dear graduates, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money has been put into your training. And often we have graduates who do these courses to have the paper to move to the next level. We are in a new situation. The skills that we have learned are expected to bring transformation to the public service. And like I keep saying, in a class of 50, there are those who will determine I'm going to make a difference. And there are those who will determine I have the paper, I'll put it in my pocket. So from now going forward, you have to do your own personal determination and your own personal choices of what kind of public servant you are going to be. And it is my hope that you become a transformative public servant. My task this morning wasn't to give a speech, but I had to make a few remarks. My task this morning was to actually invite the Cabinet Secretary to come and preside over this graduation. So as I conclude my speech, I urge our graduates to take up the mantle of management of the public service with determination and to bring a difference. Where there has been laxity, we hope you can bring a difference. And to the Kenya School of Government, I want to reiterate that expectations on your part are high. As the institution that is supposed to develop and capacity build our public servants, it is expected that you are going to show the way in adapting to the new normal. And I'm confident you are up to the task. So as you take up that task, I give the commitment of my office and indeed of that of the ministry. We'll work together to ensure that services are not interrupted, even this. Finally, as I conclude, to everyone who is in this graduation ceremony, our government has poured enormous resources to each one of us individually and collectively. A lot of resources have been expended to manage public service and also to deliver services to the citizen. And therefore, a lot is expected from us. Even the good book in chapter 12 of Luke chapter 12 says, to whom much is given, from him much is expected. So the investment our government has put to the graduates in this school, you can see the quality of this school, and to each one of us should be used to make a difference to our beloved country. So congratulations, our graduates, And now it is my humble duty and pleasure to invite and welcome our chief guest, Professor Margaret Kobia, who, as you know, was also a DG in this school and who is currently the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Gender, to come and preside over this graduation. Welcome, Madam CS. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope I can be heard. Thank you very much, Madam PS. Madam PS, for Public Service, the Chairman, Kenya School of Government, Professor Ituro Wainaina, members of the Council present, and Director General, Professor Runde Kichoya, the directors, management, and staff of Kenya School of Government, Reverend Samuel Chege, distinguished graduates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, wherever you are. Taking into account today, graduation is very different from the last two because we are having it virtually. Let me thank the school for inviting me and thank the school, council, management, and staff for organizing this graduation in the current status of COVID-19 pandemic. As I speak to you this morning, before I read my speech, let me say about 4 areas that I want to highlight as we graduate today. First, allow me to bring greetings from His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta, who you know is very passionate in supporting public servants. He supports public servants because he is very clear that no government can succeed without a public service that is also successful. Therefore, he brings you greetings and goodwill and wishes all the graduates, congratulates all of them, and he wishes them the best as they move forward. My point number 2, even if you forget anything that I'm going to read in the speech, is public service is work in progress. And every generation of public service builds on the previous work of the previous public servants. So for today, one reason why I think this graduation is very important, we are trying to see where are we as public servants in terms of delivering value to citizens. What can we do different under the newly changed environment? Therefore, it means we have to live in an area of continuous improvement as we build on the work done by previous public servants since 1963. So history is important. And I think one reason why we have graduation is to reflect back and see where are we and what is now our new vision and what are our new goals. In that case, I thank the school for having this graduation because it gives us that responsibility to assess and be able to make decision how we need to build on competencies that will deliver value for the country and particularly improve the quality of life for Kenyans. 2, 3, I also thank the school because today is a day of accountability where we say, yes, the government put resources in us, in the school. They also put resources in the public servants and also the team. That means all of us looking at the team of public service, because what I'm saying is the government through ministries, the critical role of the ministry is to develop policies, review them, coordinate, and then leave to the state departments, state corporations or the councils in various institutions to deliver what every ministry must deliver. Therefore, I'm happy that today, as Kenya School of Government, we are standing here to account towards what we have done with the resources that have been put in our hands. Therefore, for graduates, if you forget anything else, know the school has already given an accountability card, and yourself, you must also say you take responsibility because you have been given the skills, the knowledge that you need so that you can be able to go and take responsibility and above all, solve problems that the country is facing today with the knowledge and the skills that we have learned. We must always ask as public servants, what problem am I solving? And to be able to know you are solving a problem, we have to understand our communities. What services are required are not being given as expected. If you go to hospital today, how are our public servants serving us? If you go maybe to schools and find out most children are home and the learning must be done maybe through home, through innovative way, what solution? If you are not providing any solution in the public service, we need to sit back and ask ourselves, what can we do? And for the school, I think we have all heard we are in a new normal. But I want the school to interrogate, were we happy with the old normal? If we are not happy with the old normal, what can we change now? Because in some cases, we as a school which is supposed to be doing research, we should not just take any perspective that is shared with us without interrogating it. This is an opportunity to improve our own normal where we are not happy and also bring innovation to the new normal where we think they need to have those innovations for a change. I'm also expecting to give the challenge to the school if we are able to demonstrate now with learning being virtual from face to face. In my view, I would be interested if I would read from school that they have done a study that evaluates those who have learned through virtual and those who have learned through face-to-face, same course. Is there a significant difference? What are the lessons? What can we improve? So those were my opening comments so that as we reflect, as we go back to the public service, we as a team of public service, I'm extremely happy. When you look at the schools, the staff, the people in the council, when you look at the PS, if you look at the senior directors in both in the public service ministry and the school, we make a great team. Therefore, we have the opportunity to improve and also celebrate some joys. And this is some celebration of some joys can only be done through an event like today's, where we are celebrating graduates. Therefore, with those many opening remarks, I'll go back to the speech. The graduation ceremony, this time comes at the time where we are experiencing COVID-19 pandemic. But this is a time where we are also graduating diploma in social work, senior management course, supervisory skills development course, and finance for non-finance managers. For all of you graduates, accept our heartfelt congratulations. The cardinal role of the Kenya School of Government is to build the required capacities in the public service. Capacity development of the public service is central in enhancement of the public sector transformation, service delivery, and the realization of national development goals. These goals are clearly articulated in the National Development Blueprint, the Kenya Vision 2030, and its 5-year medium-term plan. And right now we are almost on the 5th one. Vision 2030 identifies human resource development and well-functioning public service as core pillars to the transformation of the Kenyan nation from the current third world status to the middle level income economy. In fact, we are already on the lower middle income economy. The government, therefore, invests heavily in training to enable public servants to attain the highest professional and ethical standards and that are essential to the service delivery. Further, the training by training, the employees are not only challenged to develop their skills, but also to feel appreciated through skill development. A well-trained workforce demonstrates consistency and achieves increased productivity and adherence to quality standards. Such a workforce also registers reduced employee turnover and increases employee satisfaction. Indeed, the Ministry of Public Service and Gender has adopted a strong and successful training strategy which has made public service work more attractive. Access to training opportunity has made the government very attractive to potential new recruits who seek to improve their skills and associated job opportunities. Such training can be delivered through appropriate methodology, such as on-the-job learning, mentoring schemes, in-house training, and the branded online modes, which are taking the shape of open distance and e-learning. Training programs have been cascaded from national to county government, with the variant program being implemented for various staff cadres. County government have integrated capacity building schemes and programs in their development plans as an enabler to the realization of the projected strategic goals. Ladies and gentlemen, let me not repeat what COVID-19 pandemic has done to this country, but we know it is not only a health challenge, but it has affected socio-economic development of this nation. Therefore, we must look at how are we going to develop competencies that will help us navigate and help the government navigate to recover from the COVID-19. I am confident that this investment in training will caution the nation from extreme effect of this pandemic. I invite you to exercise and hope in the realization of a stable and vibrant economy, even amidst the pressures of adversities that surround us today. I think you have seen the leadership of His Excellency the President in reorganizing our resources to be able to confront and respond to COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, government measures are very critical. You as graduates today, as you go to the communities, you must be able to say clearly, social or physical distancing counts. Wearing a mask counts almost close to 80% of cutting from the spread of the disease. And of course, hygiene, washing our hands with soap for 20 seconds. These, as you go out, please take responsibility. If you see somebody is wearing a mask, in an appropriate manner, it is the high time as a public service you find a way of reminding them how they are endangering themselves and endangering other people. Therefore, coming to the key role of the public service training policy, the strategy which the ministry has adopted to transform the public service emphasizes capacity building program that support the development of human capital in the areas of ethics, values, integrity, knowledge management, strategic alignment, and creation of result-oriented work culture. I must commend the school for facilitating the realization of this goal in our public service. Kenya School of Government is leading in innovation and adaptation of new and emerging service environment. I note with appreciation that capacity development of public servants has not been disrupted by the cessation of face-to-face modes of learning delivery. The school has continued to grow in resilience through adoption of best practices such as continued review of existing program, development of the new program, instructional design, and adoption of online modes of training and learning delivery. Being able to understand the environment and have different training delivery mode. Indeed, the school, as a strategic national institution, has remained committed in the resolve to create a public service that is more citizen-focused, result-oriented, transparent, and accountable to the citizen by delivering programs that aim to occasion an attitudinal change among the public servants. I note with much satisfaction that a good number of the training programs offered in the school in formulation, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and review of policies and development program, demonstrate strategic leadership in management of public affairs, and bring about positive, life-changing results to the citizen. Exercise good environmental governance, be frugal in financial management, be ethical and value-based in all matters, be agile and capable of re-engineering organization system and economic reconstruction processes in times of crisis. Be impartial in an action that promote access to public services by all citizens, including the vulnerable and the marginalized groups. Be skilled in the creation of a society that is free from danger, fear, and anxiety, and have the motivation to work with the communities towards reduction of all forms of extreme violence, including gender-based violence. Ladies and gentlemen, as I turn to the school, the previous speakers have articulated right from the chairman, the DG, the PS, and everybody else who has spoken, including the lady who shared the experience being a graduate of social work. It is time of crisis that institutions like Kenya School of Government demonstrate their relevance. Therefore, I would urge you, much as you are doing very well, during this time of crisis of COVID-19 pandemic, stand to be counted. What is this 1, 2, or 3 things you will be able to put in the public service that can surely make a difference so that Kenya stands out as a case study how we overcame COVID-19 pandemic. To the graduates, I am very proud of the 275 graduates whose achievement we are celebrating today. 14 will be awarded diploma in social work. 194 certificate is in senior management course, 48 certificate in supervisory skills development course, and 15 certificate in finance for non-finance managers. Graduates, this is a defining moment for you. I acknowledge that your achievement today has come with great sacrifice from the government as well as other benefactors, but mostly from your commitment, from leading yourself and making a decision to take the course. Most notably, I appreciate your own investment. Your training has modeled you to be able to participate in development of various levels and execute assignments by applying multidisciplinary and problem-solving approaches to issues. I encourage you to embrace continuous and lifelong learning in order to surmount the challenges that you seek to mitigate in the organizations, in the society, and in the institution where you work. Speak up where you see things are not being done right, because now you have been given the competencies, the value that you need to be able to make a difference. This way, you will register continued improvement in performance, job satisfaction, and maintain morale around your teams. Research has shown that employees who receive the necessary training are able to perform better. They're able to perform better in their jobs compared with those who have not. You are now able to execute roles with much confidence because of the new knowledge and the new skills that you have gone through. I must commend the Kenya School of Government for facilitating the realization of this goal. The new skill set and the new attitude and the perspective which you have acquired as you went through the training and the learning process. Now it is your turn to give back to your organization and the society by demonstrating that the investment made to enable you access this training was worthy investment. I therefore challenge you, and indeed all public servants, to continue conducting yourself with high levels of integrity, professionalism, accountability, and transparency. Above you, your personal legacy is recognized by how many people you touch or how many people you change their lives for better through public service. I think I need to repeat that. Our legacy will only be recognized by knowing how many people we have touched and changed their lives to better just because we serve in the public service. In conclusion, I would like to appreciate the significant role of the Council of the School, Kenya School of Government, the management and the staff who have prepared you to graduate today. I also want to thank the State Department of Public Service because they are always there and they have supported the school, they have supported my office, and sometimes they make the ministry perform better and actually make us look good because of the work done by PS Miriki Monye and our team. I also salute all Kenya School of Government fraternity for the continued commitment in building capacity of the public service with such notable and transformative results. Even I thank the school more for keeping the school environment attractive, neat, and being an example of what a government institution, which is led by people who know exactly what they are doing, look like. We are not taking that for granted, and I would urge you to sustain that. Finally, graduates, it is my honored duty to congratulate each and every one of you for this great achievement. But more so, listen to your inner self. Find will this training give you new meaning in terms of being a public servant who is led by being a servant leader. Continue keeping safe by heeding of the government directive on health and sanitation protocols until we defeat this COVID. In fact, I would urge that let's start by ourselves, being the best example in observing the government measures of responding to COVID-19. We wear the mask right, we keep social distance, we do everything that the government is saying first as public servants. Then two, let's reach out, the rest in the communities, the people who come for our services in our offices. When we meet them in the field, let's all join our hands. We will win this war. I thank you. Congratulations. We do everything that the government is saying first as public servants. Then two, let's reach out, the rest in the community, the people who come for our services in our offices. When we meet them.
Awards will now be conferred to candidates in senior management course who completed their training online at Kenya School of Government. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now present to you the candidates for the award of certificates in senior management course number 117, 118, who completed their training in our Mombasa campus. May I also present to you the senior management course number 124, who completed their training online at the Embu campus. I'll also present to you senior management course number 328, who completed their training online at the Lower Kabete campus. I certify that the following 151 candidates have satisfied the Academic Board of the Kenya School of Government for the award of certificates in senior management course. Senior management course number 117 of 2020. Abdullahi Mohammed, Ade Mkofira, Elizabeth Milan, Gavava Jilo, Gome Odhiambo, Kalama Vuko, Kwarika Rose, Makumbi Mutua, Baru Hebo, Deritu Mwangi, Otieno Ouma, Rono Florence, Shikuku Martin, Zayana Rasul. Senior Management Course number 118, Vicky Chepkoril, Abbas Bakir, Abdi Asha, Ibrahim Abdi, Kamau Nyingi, Kamondia Karioki, Koech Kiplagat, Maina Gakuya, Makembo Gishibu, Masanya Ochweri, Bithi Mulei, Bogo Mliwa, Munyao Siombua, Mudhambi Zilani, Mwajuma June, Mwangi Irungu, Namwar John, Nyamboga Kwamboka, Okuku Ochieng, Ondimu Ekanyi, Onyino Ruth, Otieno Omondi, Ose Matriza, Owiti Acheng, Oyungu Terry, Simiu Makadamu, Wachira Wanjiku. Senior Management Course number 124, Ali Juma, Adego Emodia, Hahoya Shuda, Agusa Timothy, Barsigan Komen, Bosire Joseph, Bosire Atemba, Chege Juguna, Chome Sidi, Iminza Gertrude, Kari Regina, Kathengi Karimi, Katiambo Machuma, Haemba na Marome, Kihara Maina, Kilungula na Bukwanga, Kimani Jerry, Kimathi Gitonga, Kingo Zelu, Kinoti Kagwiria, Kiplagat Jebiwot, Kirembu Aloisia, Kote Simitei, Kuria Wangui, Ludisi Jocelyn, Maingi Wanza, Malanda Adeso, Bau Wanjiru, Buru Jambi, Matet Chepkoril, Muhashami Chamula, Murungu Karimi, Mutisia Katumbe, Muturi Mathenge, Mwangi Wangui, Hassan Mugo, Dana Wambui, Guru Kuria, Jaga Wangari, Jeru Karani, Nugari Wanjiru, Ogumbo Akinyi, Okanja Akinyi, Akich Gesa, Okoth George, Ooma Josephine, Wambua Kaula, Wangari Anastasia, Wabugu Wairegi, Abdalla Maraga, Koros Jepchirchir, Letilipa Mariam, Mtomauta Kimani, Musyoka Baika, Mutua Mweni, Mwania Koki, Dami Wairimu, Dege Mwaniki, Dirangu Mutahi, Gugi Joel, Joroge Nyede, Pesi Samau, Wanyama Aori. Senior Management Course number 328. Biko Opidi, Musyoka Mutuku, Watako Atieno, Abdullahi Adan, Ariko Akoth, Kagwara Waduma, Kundu Efuko, Lunayo Janet, Maina Masi, Baye Katulira, Bijiwe Mwendwa, Mugo Ofula, Nganga Catherine, Ikonde Edui, Joike Wainaina, Nyakuri Murenga, Odandi Awor, Omuhinda Aluboya, Ogolo Onyango, Reche Murithi, Sileta Penina, Aguko Atha, B. Kiprono, Bilala Dika, Kashari Mungai, Gishuru Makena, Kamanda Buthia, Kariuki Waithera, Karogo Mukami, Kisa Botela, Kigen Kipchirchir, Kimani Kamau, Kiseve Musyoka, Koech Chepkirui, Koril Kipngeno, Leonareu John, Motanya Ongori, Morande Okari, Mukiri Jambi, Nganga Mutave, Ngome Beka, Njeru Kenneth, Onyango Francis, Onyango Awino, Osano Kiondi, Sheikh Mohammed, Wanjala Kisiangani. I would like to make a special mention of the candidate who scored a distinction out of the 151 candidates. 4 candidates scored a distinction. Vicky Betty Chepkorir. Biko Steve Opidi. Musyoka Dominic Motuku. Watako Beldina Atieno. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now request you to award the certificate in senior management course to the candidates. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now request you to award the certificate in senior management course to the candidates.
Acting on the powers conferred by the Kenya School of Government Act and the Kenya School of Government Learning and Development Policy and Procedures, and the graduates having satisfied the academic board in all subjects for which they were enrolled, trained, and examined, it gives me great pleasure to award you Senior Management Course Certificate of the Kenya School of Government.
Conferred to candidates in supervisory skills development course who completed their training online at Kenya School of Government. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now present to you the candidates for the award of certificates in supervisory skills development course number 1 of 2020. Number 1, because it is the first supervisory skills development course which has been taken online. I certify that the following 48 candidates have satisfied the academic board of the Kenya School of Government for the award of certificate in supervisory skills development course. Abrar Hussain, Bosire Kemuto, David Mudhini, David Grace Wanja, Dodo Akot, Gabriel Kisiri, Gishuru Joki, Gitong Wambugu, Gufu Wari, Iguku Yvonne, Igando Mary, John Juma, Kamili Mutuku, Katelo Mohammed, Kaunda Kenneth, Kawinsi Mwikali, Kimani Jerry, Kimaru Waweru, Kimeli Festus, Kinyanjui Jerry, Kipto Masi, Kisu Loko, Koi Caroline, Pulei Jeremiah, Kutol Jelagat, Kwambai John, Matiasi Mutunga, Maza Makumbo, Mugo Mwihaki, Mungai Wambui, Mutava Solomon Mulei, Mutinda Musili, Mwabei Omar, Deri Wanjiku, Deritu Justin, Nganga Wadhithi, Nyagena Obed, Nyumu Gule, Obonyo Virginia, Odhiambo Abigail, Odhiambo Gabriel, Odhiambo Nick, Okeyo Owuor, Okeyo Ochieng, Osoro Lawrence, Tabuche Bembe, Torongi Kiplagat, Yator Kiprotich. May I now request Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now request you to award the certificate in supervisory skills development course. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now request you to award the certificate in supervisory skills development course.
Acting on the powers conferred by the Kenya School of Government Act and the Kenya School of Government Learning and Development Policy and Procedures, and the graduates having certified the academic board in all the subjects for which you are enrolled, trained, and examined, it gives me great pleasure to award you Supervisory Skills Development Course Certificate of the Kenya School of Government.
Awards will now be conferred to the candidates in finance for non-finance managers who completed the training online at Kenya School of Government. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now present to you the candidates for the award of certificates in finance for non-finance managers. I certify that the following 19 candidates have satisfied the academic board of the Kenya School of Government for the award of certificate in finance for non-finance managers. Abele Patrick, Agalo Joyce, Amukowa Wycliffe, Chigai Harriet, Hanjari Gideon, Irungu Lucy, Mativu Richard, Batia Lorna, Mudhoni Florence, Muvea Shadrach, Mwangi Gure, Mwangi Maina, Muita Peter, Naliaho Penina, Joroge Peter, Nyatuga Eileen, Zioki Suzanne, Okemwa Ondari, Shitanda Douglas. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now request you to award the certificate in finance for non-finance managers. Douglas. Madam Cabinet Secretary, may I now request you to award the certificate in finance for non-finance managers.
Acting on the powers conferred by the Kenya School of Government Act and the Kenya School of Government Learning and Development Policies and Procedures, and the graduates having satisfied the academic board in all the subjects for which you are enrolled, trained, examined, it gives